In the headlines, the DAIC president believes economic activity this Christmas will reflect an improvement over last year. Manufacturers could soon present recommendations to the Prime Minister for access to aided bank loan facility, and displaced residents on the West Coast could enter their new home by Christmas. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. First up, President of the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, Kira Thompson-Ed, expects to see an economic bounce back for the Christmas season. While Thompson-Ed says it is too early to reference statistics, she says she is somewhat encouraged by what she has seen and reports she's received of business activity in Roseau.
I do notice there are more people out there spending, looking for that Christmas, I think. I have noticed business houses have had to invest in security personnel, even small businesses that never used to have to. And that's a bit disconcerting because you have to protect your customers, your employees, and your business goods, because the level of crime is rising. There are a lot of young men, unemployed persons out there, and unfortunately they take advantage of those who have. So for the Christmas season, I believe all business houses, whilst we're suffering the loss of two major entrepreneurs in December, Mr. Jolly and Mr. Astafan yesterday, I think we're all hoping that the Christmas will be jolly for all, and we sincerely hope that it doesn't just stay within Roseau and it spreads to the outskirts, the smaller villages.
She explained that the 2015 Christmas holidays was not the same due to the impact of Tropical Storm Erica, and that affected growth in the private sector.
Last year, we all felt the after effects of Tropical Storm Erica, and I think there was not much of a Merry Christmas spirit for people. A lot of remittances and barrels, goods, were sent home, so persons were not necessarily spending money within the country. And I think everybody was trying to recoup after the loss, the devastation, displacement. We are noticing this year that there has been a slight increase within the shopping sector, retail, wholesale, distribution sectors. Services we've noticed are increasing a little bit. Remittances have gone up somewhat as well. So we're hoping for a very productive season.
A warning to homemakers doing last-minute preparations for Christmas this season: keep an eye out for these common holiday trip-ups, fire hazards, and other safety blunders.
PRO of the Fire and Ambulance Services, Wayne Later, wants residents to carefully inspect holiday light strings and discard with any frayed cords, cracked lamp holders, or loose connections. When replacing bulbs, he says we should unplug the light string and be sure to match voltage and wattage to the original bulb. Later said that there was also need to be cautious when cooking.
Baking and cooking, make sure that it is always something that we do with persons looking. Always it has to be supervised. Baking, remember, what you put in the oven, it has to be something that doesn't have to be flammable. So avoid putting paper that will catch up in the oven. Remember, when we put our things to bake, remember them in the oven and don't put the oven too high. There's a recommended temperature. Most ovens these days have their regulated temperature. You set it and it bakes according to that temperature. Do not set that temperature too high that the thing will get burned and then a fire will start. If a fire starts on the stovetop, do not use water. Remember, do not use water to pour into the skillet, because water will actually cause that expansion of the oils, and then that fire could spread even more violently than if water wasn't added. So what we're asking persons, when the skillets are on fire, and we are talking the frying pan for those people who do not know what the skillets are, it's the frying pan. If they're on fire, you cover it. There's always a large enough cover in the kitchen. Cover it with that cover. Do not use a towel.
The public is also being asked to avoid using gas if the cap is removed, cracked, or broken, and only allow a qualified service person to replace it.
Yes, we have the cake to bake. We have the ham and the turkey to bake. And that petroleum gas is leaking. That's the only one we have. Please, safety comes first. Make sure you return that liquor to the dealer or the retailer, whoever sold it to you, and get it exchanged for oh, by the way, if you have been using it for a long time, It doesn't mean that when you return it, you will get it replaced for free. But whenever you suspect that your gas is leaking, you must change it, stop the use. Because one of the things we say about liquid petroleum gas, wherever you smell it, it means it is there.
Overloading of electrical installations is also another concern. He's advising that individuals always turn off holiday lights when they leave the house unattended or when going to bed.
In other news, Prime Minister Skerrit says it's in the country's best interest to ensure the viability and sustainability of the aid bank. Meeting with local manufacturers at the State House recently, Minister Skerrit made the case that clients should ensure that their demands on the aid bank are within the strict rules under which the institution operates. The Prime Minister says while it's fair to call on the aid bank to utilize more customer-friendly principles, the bank must exercise itself in strict codes of conduct insofar as its lending policies are concerned.
When the bank gets money from the CDB or from the European Investment Bank or from any other external source, within the agreement it is placed in a box, and it doesn't have the flexibility of maneuvering out of that box. It can move within the box, but it can't go outside of the box. If it goes outside of the box, it would violate the agreement that it has entered into, and something in this agreement, you will have to pay the full amount almost immediately. The bank in the past has found itself in a difficulty, and this is why the CDB had stopped lending monies rather to the aid bank, because it was not carrying out the business of the bank with prudential guidelines. So we have to be careful what we ask the bank to do, because one decision on the part of the bank can have an implication for all of us who do business in the bank.
The Minister for Finance says he is not prepared to loosen any conditions under which the aid bank functions. The aid bank relies on money borrowed from its partners on lending to its clients. These loans come with set conditions.
The bank has a very serious fiduciary responsibility. The bank is 100% a liability of the Treasury of the Commonwealth of Dominica. All of its loans, except those the government gives it because the government gives it to the aid bank, have a sovereign guarantee, which means that the aid bank defaults on payment to this lender. The Treasury, the Minister of Finance has to instruct the Financial Secretary to make monies available to those persons and so on.
An increased membership with a view to fostering greater change in Dominica is on the cards for JCI Dominica in 2017. The club, which was revamped approximately 3 months ago, currently has a membership of 30. Executive Vice President of JCI Dominica, James Rodney, says in its 3 months existence, the club has focused on empowering its members to create more effective change in society.
One of our main goals is that to ensure that our membership is actually empowered and that we present them with the opportunities that they need in order to improve their lives, the quality of lives, and also to instill in them confidence and to persevere against any challenge that they may face moving forward. In 2017, we're definitely going to be looking at our recruitment program, in which that we'll be able to enroll a few new members, just to keep things with a nice mix and a nice blend. Those who are inducted into the organization, it's actually a prestige, it's a privilege, to be part of something as big as JCI.
JCI Dominica has also participated in a number of community outreach projects and most recently hosted a Christmas event for the children of the Isulukati Special Needs and Early Childhood School.
Since we had already started build up a foundation with the Isulukati School in Kalinago territory, we decided to surprise them with a kids' Christmas party to continue or to end the year with a nice little excitement for them. So we decided to do a kids' Christmas party. Assisting children would be the best way forward for JCI. We start with the youth. We start with even the much smaller children to help us move forward. So we know they can share their ideas with us, they can share their needs somewhere that we can assist them.
JCI Dominica will also be looking to deepen relations with its sister clubs around the region.
Currently, there are 6 existing Caribbean GCs, and JCI Dominica would actually be the 7th one to be affiliated with those other sister organizations in the Caribbean. And in terms of conferences are held 2 to 3 times a year. There's the international conference and then there's the regional conference. The regional conference for 2017 is scheduled to be held in Tobago, which is one that JCI Dominica will be looking forward to take part in and lend our contributions for the overall success and development of JCs in the world.
JCI Dominica was officially launched on 17th September 2016. President Charles Savre says a $40 million project to build a new Princess Margaret Hospital is expected to present some challenges, but the outcome will be worth the trouble.
His Excellency made the observation during his annual Christmas visit to the hospital, accompanied by members of cabinet.
As Dominicans, we like to complain. And the fact that a patient is in the hospital, if he has a complaint and he sees a camera and a microphone, he will voice his complaint to make sure that it is repeated and is captured. So it is not an idle comment when the patients say that they are being well treated. And I think this is something that should be encouraging to all of us.
The President advised all healthcare professionals to continue to deliver the highest quality service at all times, regardless of the circumstances. Meanwhile, the Minister for Health said the construction of a new hospital is just one of many investments to enhance Dominica's healthcare system.
We all know that it's one of the 5 pillar projects agreed upon between the government of Dominica and the government of the People's Republic of China. And it is now finally under construction. The hospital, they said that was in the sky and would never land. It's now finally under construction. And I really want to take this opportunity to really thank the staff, in particular the staff of PMH, for your patience and understanding thus far. And in moving along, I remain convinced that it will work. It will work. Because of course we never said that it was going to be easy. We never said it was going to be a simple project. The fact that we're going to construct a hospital on an existing hospital.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after the break. Welcome back. The Christmas gift of brand new housing units for displaced families of the Coolibistry and Collier areas, while very possible for Christmas 2016, may be delayed just a bit longer. Andrea Louis has that story.
Earlier this year, the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, ADRA, began construction work in the Platte-Mapia area for some families who lost their homes as a result of Tropical Storm Erica in 2015. The goal is to build 6 3-bedroom apartment units. Philip Matthew is the contractor on the project and says the top-level 3 units can be ready for Christmas Day.
The 3 at the road level are at an advanced stage. As a matter of fact, what is left to do on the 2 other buildings, we have 1 more coat of paint on the inside. The electrical division should be will be testing the buildings tomorrow. We have completed the septic tanks at the back. So at this point, we essentially waiting to connect the water, get the lights, and the buildings will be inhabitable. For Adventure, we go beyond Sunday. Before New Year's, the 3 top buildings will be ready for inhabitants.
Okay. Matthew says the other 3 units, that is, those on the 2nd level, can be completed in early 2017.
Okay, 1 is total cinder block, so all the block work is in, all the blocks have been plastered, all the windows are in 1 of them. The second one, we just did the perimeter walls with blockwork, which is the blockwork is in, and we have already plastered it. The internal walls will be doing a sheetrock or plasterboard, and that we will do after well, next year, sometime early next year. And the middle one, my projection is we'll be pouring that slab on Thursday, if God spare.
The contractor pointed out that while 3 apartment units will be ready for 25th December, the chances of families moving furniture and equipment into these units are very slim.
Sadly, one of the major hitches is the road, the access road to the site. And if individuals would try to bring in furniture, I must say it's going to get damaged because the road is in a deplorable state. And obviously we had nothing to do with the road. Our part was to build the homes. So, and I don't see the government getting the roads ready before Christmas. So that would be the only reason why the people would not be able to move in with all the furniture. Because I mean, I went there as recent as yesterday, the roads are really bad. If you don't have a four-wheel drive, you cannot get up there.
Matthew is also appealing to the public to help with the timely completion of the other 3 housing units.
Appealing to the public now, we are close to home, but we still need money. So if there's any corporate citizen, if there's any individual who would feel moved to donate some money to the project, contact Sister Prevo. All the paperwork will be done. It's a transparent process, and we'll be glad for that. If you're out there and you have the money, please donate some money to ADRA, which is a branch of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, so we can complete those houses in grand style and, more importantly, in a decent time. Because you know, you don't have funds, you have to hold back, and I must say at this point the funds are dwindling.
The ultimate aim is to have another set of housing units constructed in the Platte-Mapia area under the ADRA program. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Manufacturers will soon present their recommendations to the Prime Minister for a special loan facility following a meeting amongst them on Wednesday. The meeting was held on the request of Prime Minister Skerrit. Coming out of a meeting with manufacturers last Friday, Mr. Skerrit sought their advice on the conditions government can consider for the loan facility. A special committee of manufacturers has been formed from Wednesday's meeting to meet with government's team on the way forward. President of the Manufacturers Association, Severin McKenzie, chaired the meeting.
If there is a budget for the manufacturing sector, we as manufacturers have to look at it very seriously as how affected we are, to see how best we can position ourselves that the resources that the government is putting together can be well used, that we do not have to come back here. And I'm sure Imani will agree with me on this one. How many years down the line, going through the same grinds again and crying, boy, we cannot get this, we cannot get to these standards. And all of us still doing our own little thing because the 5 or the 3% money that we got has evaporated.
Government intends on providing financing to manufacturers in relation to challenges over procurement, packaging, raw material, and working capital. The consensus from manufacturers was that there are other non-financial issues hindering their growth which need to be addressed.
If by chance the government would say they have $20 million available for the manufacturing sector, do we say put it in the aid bank and share it out at 3% to Tom, Dick, and Harry, go doing their own little things, while we do not have some of the basic infrastructure for us to succeed? So he will still be importing 10 little boxes of bottles on his own, and she will be importing 5 little plastic bags on her own. And this one will be going and trying to see how he get a little market on his own to sell his products.
Access to marketing and adhering to standards are also major concerns for manufacturers.
Are we going to look at it in a real comprehensive way to say, look, yes, we need money at 3% for this so that we can improve our products and improve production and get quality going. But at the same time, we need $1 million for the Bureau of Standards to make sure that we are producing the goods according to standard and for us to be able to achieve what we want to achieve, so that when we get this 3% loan and we try to enter the Guadeloupe or the Martinique market, nobody going to tell us, hey, you do not get to the standards that we want. Or do we say, Mr. Prime Minister, can you allocate $500,000 for the marketing of Dominican products so that we as small manufacturers do not have to go through this grind of trying to see how we can sell our, do we structure it this way?
The loan will be offered at 3% interest. Meantime, an enhanced partnership between government and manufacturers, as the minister says she has a vision to expand the manufacturing sector.
Minister for Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development, Rosalind Paul, met with manufacturers last month in the lead-up to a meeting with the Prime Minister. She says there's been a closer partnership with manufacturers.
We've been working closely with the Dominica Manufacturers Association, the Art and Craft Association, Agro-Processors, and so the Herbal Teas Association. And so we've been having meeting with their representative, but this meeting was a wider meeting involving their membership. Been partnering for a number of issues to help them to advance themselves, including the one-stop shop at the old market, including accessing training, capacity building, and so.
Access to finance, cost of production and cost of raw materials are top concerns which came up at the meeting held with manufacturers on November 30.
That's one of our mandates, to expand and assist manufacturers and other industries to contribute more significantly to their own development and to the economy. We are still working towards documenting all of these issues and taking it to a level where some of this can be addressed.
And reinforcement works are ongoing on the Marpin Bridge following damage to its structure 3 weeks ago. On 5th December, Ministry of Public Works officials announced that the southeast section of the bridge had dropped by 5 inches below its normal level. However, it was still safe for use. The drop in bridge level occurred when the river burst its banks as a result of heavy rains from a trough system affecting the island on 1st December. Earlier this week, the bridge had been closed to motorists and vehicular traffic was diverted to the old Marpin Bridge. The Bailey Bridge level had been raised back to its normal height and was subsequently opened to vehicular traffic. Reinforcement works are ongoing. These bridge strengthening works consist of a concrete wall being set under both ends of the bridge to make it more durable. The first time the bridge was closed to motorists was to accommodate the setting of the concrete wall at the southern end of the bridge. Later this week, concrete will be poured for the wall at the northern end of the bridge. That means it will once again be closed to vehicular traffic to allow the concrete to set. Chit Chat is next. Welcome to Chit Chat. I'm joined here with Nayan, a representative of the Fortune Hotel, who's going to tell us about the yummy treats that they have in store for us this Christmas and the New Year's.
But of course, you know that the Fortune Hotel is always offering its clients something different, exquisite cuisine and an experience. And of course, this year we're right on target. And we first want to let you know about our 5-course Christmas Eve dinner menu. And of course, we know Christmas Eve is being celebrated on Saturday, the 24th of December. Right. So we're inviting you to come over to the Fortune Hotel, make your reservations, call us today, book that spot because it's limited space. And of course, we do have our new chef all the way from India who've put together this lovely 5-course dinner menu. I've been receiving calls. Can you tell me more about these, that? Of course we can, but just call us today, 448-5000 to make your reservation. And of course, we do have our Sparkle and Shine New Year's Eve entertainment. We've been receiving a lot of calls about that already. Actually, we had a couple in the bar today, and she said to me, you know, I've been looking for something to go for the past 10 years. So this is the event that you have to attend this year. It's our Sparkle and Shine event down on the boardwalk, as well as our newly extended oceanfront deck. The ticket price is, you have to book in advance. You don't want to miss it. So again, the tickets are $380 per couple, sorry. And of course, New Year's Eve is on December 31st, 2016. We also have a VIP section on the Borders Arc. As well, on December 31st, we do have another 5-course dinner menu available in the Marquee Hall. So there's lots going on at the Fortune Hotel, and we want everybody who is listening now. You either do 3 things. Give us a call, send us a text message, or send us a message on Facebook, and we'll be happy to, you know, take your calls and requests.
All right, you heard it first, right here from a representative at Fortune Hotel. Yummy deals coming up for you. The sports report comes up right after this. First up in sports, unconfirmed reports indicate Windward's Volcanoes coach Ian Allen's contract will not be renewed by the end of the year. Reports say this follows poor performances under his leadership in all formats of the game. Efforts to reach Allen for comment on the matter have so far proven unsuccessful. Meantime, in the point standing of the Regional 4-day tournament after round 5, Jamaica Scorpions is in the lead with 67.6, Guyana Jaguars not far behind on 64.6. Next, we have Barbados Pride on 47.2, followed by Windward's Volcanoes on 41.6. Leeward Islands Hurricanes follow with 39.4 points, and the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force 35.6. In international cricket, Ravindra Jadeja's first 10-wicket haul in the 5th Test against England on Tuesday helped him move to second place in the ICC Test bowling rankings, a list led by his teammate R. Ashwin. This is the first time since 1974 that two India bowlers occupy the top spots in the bowling rankings. The last pair was left-arm spinner Bishan Bedi and leg spinner Bhagwat Chandrasekhar. Ashwin is on 887 while Jadeja is 8 points behind with 879. In the recently concluded Test series against England, Ashwin took 28 wickets at an average of 30.25. Jadeja claimed 26 wickets at 25.84 and an economy rate of 2.31. Of the 93 England wickets to fall in the series, combined they took 54. Jadeja leapfrogged to number 3 on the all-rounders list, also topped by Ashwin. On the football scene, 2 matches are on this week in the Division 1 League of the Dominica Football Association. On Thursday, Maosoka Strikers will do battle with Skerrit Northeast at Benjamin's Park. At Portersville Savannah, Club Lubia will face off with Bath Estate FC. Both matches begin at 6 p.m. The match between Petro Caribe Point Michelle and the Caribbean Cooler Harlem United carded for Wednesday night at 6 was called off due to rain. In more sports now, head of Dominica Cycling Association says it has been a good year for the sport with increased participation and interest being shown by cyclists, but there is always room for improvement. His comments come ahead of a Boxing Day race put on by the association.
A lot of persons have come on board and they are now cycling. You find that a lot of persons are cycling in the mornings. But more importantly, we have set up a little group. That group has been in existence before. It's called the Super Riders Group. And persons always, every Sunday, sometimes we ride to different locations, sometimes to Soufriere, sometimes to the Portsmouth area. The feedback has been excellent.
He says plans are in the pipeline to bring the sport to a higher level come 2017.
Just recently, we got communication from Mr. Bailey. Mr. Bailey, as you know, is the president of the Caribbean Championship Cycling Association. He's hoping to visit us in March, where we'll have a training done for about a week, and also we'll climax that training with a race. So he'll be coming down to educate, to train, and to again put another race together. The whole view of all of this too is we're looking at, as I said in previous communication with you, we're looking at November, December of 2017 of hosting the OECS Championship event. In doing so, this is all part of the preparation. We have been invited to Cuba sometime in January, I believe it's between the 14th and 15th of January or the 16th of January, where we will be going to the one of the meets, and that is I believe is the Caribbean meets, and we will meet a lot of the other associations and a lot of the other groups from our region. And I would believe it's predominantly the OECS.
Finally, President of the Dominica Special Olympics Committee, Ainsworth Irish, says 2016 was a challenging one. Positions on the committee are voluntary and don't usually include payment for services rendered.
A couple of years ago, we had some 40 volunteers, and that have dwindled, It's a non-profit, no salary involved, and persons now it's difficult to get volunteers. So we want to rekindle that kind of thing. So you find I have been under a lot of pressure. In my capacity, then as chairman of Special Olympics, I have to do the coaching, I have to do all sorts of things. So it drains me out really. So I want to put a cadre of good trained personnel into Special Olympics to help me to, as a vanguard, to move the process forward, like, Barbados, Trinidad, and St. Kitts and St. Vincent.
He says he welcomes the help of anyone who wants to volunteer.
Well, it's Christmas time. I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a prosperous, bright and, New Year. And, we continue to seek the support from persons who can do something for Special Olympics, because it's all about empowering these athletes. Yes, they are challenged, they have the disability, but that does not say that they do not have the ability to proceed and perform, you know. So we need persons to come on board because they were created by God in His own likeness and image. And in the World Games in California last year, 7,000 athletes from around the world and their parents and families were there. And these athletes feel empowered. They feel that they're, you know, people can touch them, people can talk to them. They are just like normal persons. And these athletes are very committed and disciplined.
The Dominica Special Olympics Committee has been in existence since 1988. That's all the sporting highlights for now. Join us again next time. Your weather forecast next.
Good evening, Dominica, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery and what it showed. This area of convection associated with a trough system presently affecting the region. Now, taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery, what it showed. Multi-layered clouds across the area today, and this resulted in generally cloudy skies across Dominica. Now, taking a look at earlier radar imagery, what it indicated. Shower activity across the central and northern portion of the region during the afternoon. Tonight's weather is expected to be mostly cloudy and breezy with scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms, and these conditions are expected to continue into tomorrow. As a result, persons in areas prone to flooding, landslides and falling rocks are advised to exercise caution. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate to rough in open water with waves peaking near 10 feet. As a result, a small craft warning is in effect for high seas and high winds. Looking ahead to the next 3 days, mostly cloudy and breezy conditions with scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms expected during the morning tomorrow. However, as we move into Friday and Saturday, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattered showers can be expected. Breezy conditions are expected to be maintained throughout the next 3 days. For the rest of the Caribbean, mostly cloudy skies with breezy conditions, scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms can be expected throughout most of the region tomorrow due to the presence of this trough system. Our international cities forecast: partly cloudy skies can be expected in New York, cloudy skies expected in Miami, fog expected in London, some showers and thunderstorm activity can be expected in Caracas, with clear skies expected in Beijing. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:28 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:41 p.m. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit our website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. The DAIC president believes economic activity this Christmas will reflect an improvement over last year. Manufacturers could soon present recommendations to the Prime Minister for access to aid bank loan facility, and displaced residents on the West Coast could enter their new homes by Christmas. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. To all our viewers around the world, we thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.